stop us, but they can't hold us down. Boy, we back at it again. Live
Somebody
like
better appreciate
95.
that joke.
Yes, we're going to get this thing going one way or another. Hey, we back at it. This is the episode 28, and I'm going to put a point and a half, like 28 and a half, Go ahead. Go ahead, let them know, man. Let them know who you are, big game.
Well, 28 episodes, y'all should know by now, damn it. But hey, if it's your first time coming in, I'm Big Game James. We rep Silver and Blue Nation. Of course, we rep the trilogy right now, but we're repping Silver and Blue Nation. There we go. I got even better. Repping Silver and Blue Nation. Check us out. Check out our page, Facebook page, Big Game James page. All you got to do is type it in. We go hard. We have good stuff. We have a show every Sunday around 3:30 to 5, about an hour and a half. Free for all. We have a good time. We have fun. We just be kicking it, talking Cowboys football. A whole interactive fan page, so you will love it if you're a Cowboys fan and you like chopping it up and like voicing your opinion. And your opinion counts and your voice counts. So jump in there and get it off. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. And if you want to donate, we have a Patreon account, Silver Blue Nation. Patreon. Check us out. You can go to the page, sign up, only as low as $1 a month. Keep it flowing.
Yes, donations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Donation.
Yes, indeed, man. So where were we left off at DDP?
Oh, man, I was just I have no idea how the audio was sounding towards the end of that when we started getting choppy and Murphy Law came in busting up the show. But I was talking on the Randy Gregory thing and the Jason, what is it, La Caforna? Again, it trips my mind that I was able last week to effortlessly say Guillain-Barré, but I can't say La Caforna for whatever reason.
That was good.
Yeah, I practiced that shit. But yeah, so I'll rehash some of the stuff. I won't go quite as full on the rant this time, but basically, I wrote on it today on the website, if you want to check that out, thedallasprospect.com. And I wrote about how the way in which that La Caforna, a CBS Sports Insider, talked about the Randy Gregory thing. He basically, what he did was he lobbed out like a grenade pretty much with no real information behind it. Just a very vague, could mean anything, could be nothing. Like, oh, I'm hearing there could be trouble ahead for Randy Gregory.
Right.
Like vague as hell. And then all the clapback and people asking him for more information and all that, whether it's even other media members, as far as I've seen, he hasn't offered any further explanation to it. And
he deleted the tweet.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Oh, scary yourself.
When you delete tweets, you're wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a crazy thing in that regard. And even if like there is any chance that he is right about something, because I know obviously the media here in Dallas has been trying to get to the bottom of it. They've been poking and prodding Jerry and Steven trying to get answers. And everyone is saying, whether it's the Cowboys or Randy Gregory's people, it's something he has to work on every day. Obviously, he's recovering. So that's why he's always been referred to as day-to-day project as opposed to like, oh, he's fine, totally in the clear. And for them to basically, they're all saying that they think he's in the clear as far as he's done nothing that they know of. As far as they know, he is available week 1 and everything. So even if there is a chance that La Caforna is right about this on some level, like if there is something that just hasn't come out yet, the way he went about it is still bad journalism, because all he's doing is basically like
a firestorm.
Yeah.
Everybody and their damn mama, as soon as you say something about Randy Gregory, they're going to go crazy.
Exactly. And how many people, as soon as they saw that tweet, immediately clapped at Randy Gregory and saying like, cut him, get rid of him. This is a waste.
Right.
Like, I told you guys, like, no, you hadn't even heard anything yet. Right. Like, let the information come out. It's a national media guy. Why do you think he's going to know something that the Dallas media won't?
Right.
Like, he has no sources here that can give him something better or something earlier than that. Even if the guy,
that's a great point.
Even if someone at a national level breaks some kind of story, they're just scatter shooting with a topic, and then it's the Dallas media, assuming we're talking about the Cowboys, that like step in, drill down, and get the real facts. Right. So I don't miss me with national media guys thinking that they can like jack the story for themselves.
Yes, I feel you. That's a hell of a point. I never really looked at it in that angle. Like looking at the national terms, I mean, it makes sense because if they do throw something out there like that, it would be wherever state that they're in would get the bottom of this and get the real information because they're there. They're actually right there and they're going to let you know. They just throw it out there. And just like you said, that can really, it's irresponsible because so many reporters do a lot of it. A lot of reporters do irresponsible journalism because they want to have the first thing. They want to be the first. They tweeted it first. Now I can get 20,000 more followers because I made this story first. And a lot of them get so desperate, they jump out there to leap it. And it's not even true, but they just want to get that little bit of, what they call the clickbait or whatever, just to have people follow them and listen to what they say. I was tripping because I've heard Jason, whatever that, I ain't saying his name, but, y'all know the hell I'm talking about, but I he's always been kind of a credible guy to me. He's always came out with pretty decent information. Not everybody's right, but to do that with a guy with Randy Gregory, and we know how sensitive this issue is with him right now, a lot of people are expecting him to fail. And that's the truth. There's a lot of people that want him to fail and want to say, I told you so. I told you so. See? And that's the first thing that came out of the mouth. Shoot, we was going to doing a live show on Sunday when I was hearing about the news, and I was begging people to tell me what's going on because I was freaking nervous. You know what I'm saying? When I heard about it on the show, I wanted people to give me answers right then and there because my first thought was, oh, man. And then my second thought was, man, everybody just going to dog him.
Yeah, that's why I always, this is my philosophy. I don't know about you guys or anybody that's following the show. As far as news, I wait for Fish. 105.3 The Fan, I wait for Fish. And then, all right, as far as like draft breakdown, draft stuff, I either get it from Dane Bugler or I get it from my guy, Brian Brothers. I kind of listen to what Brian Brothers have to say. And sometimes, believe it or not, Brian Brothers got a little slant to his conversation too as well. And
he's not all the way right either.
Yeah, he's not all the way right too as well. And I like Brian Brothers. Don't get it twisted. But this is the thing. As far as like live stuff, like Daryl, right on point. I go to John Machota. I hate to give these guys plugs without giving their permission and stuff like that. Just give them free plugs and stuff. But this is the thing. That's why I do. I kind of look at it, then I trust and I evaluate whatever they say. I try to dig up as much information as I can for myself, and then I go and I say, okay, yeah, they was all right with this. But as far as groundbreaking news and stuff like that, the ESPNs of the world and the NFL Network. It's clickbaitishable. You can just say that all day, even twice on Sunday. That they just try to clickbait most of the time,
especially ESPN.
Yes, indeed, the 4-letter. Shout out to them though. They got to eat too.
They kept us for a long time. I know Tom Jackson and Chris Berman kept me for a long time on that NFL. But now I'm gonna keep it real. I don't even watch ESPN no more.
I was just about to say it's because that they've kind of fallen into the shape that they're in, that stuff like what we're doing is becoming so popular. So
because we
owe our moving forward success to them basically being clickbaity and basically kind of selling out. Like they don't really have a whole lot of real that they talk. They just get guys on there to yell over one another on the daytime show and all that. All the people care about were highlights in the games themselves. I don't know why everything has to turn into a debate. I don't care to hear Stephen A. Smith, or I know he's not there anymore, Skip Bayless, guys like that. I don't care to hear those guys just argue over one another because it's just who can make the more shocking claim.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And they're not even taking anything. And I mean, I don't hate on any of these guys, I really don't. But when I listen to Shannon Sharp, and because I know he was a good football player, and I know he has great football knowledge, but then it's like I see him say some of the stuff, and it's like, Shannon, you don't even believe that.
Right.
You can't believe what you just said because I know you're a smarter athlete. You're a smart person, and you know the game. You got Super Bowls. You play with one of the best, and you are one of the best out there. So some of the stuff you're saying out of your mouth is just like this is for ratings. Right. I don't listen to nothing that Skip says because you have no credibility to me. I know you're on ESPN and all that, but some of the stuff you just say out of your mouth is just for ratings.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah, there's no basis to it.
Yeah, it's not real, and that's why our format is what's working and what's captivating people more and more now. So, I mean, that's how you have Law with 31,000 people on Law Nation. You guys on Facebook, Silver and Blue, have like 35,000. Right. Like that's why these platforms are becoming popular, because we will say the raw and real thing, and we're not going to spin it for advertising and stuff like that. We're going to say what we see and tell it like it is.
Right.
And yep, that's the truth. That's the whole truth and nothing but the damn truth, Mr. DDP.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
what's up.
Laying down the law. Boy, I love to hear this, boy.
And we got the law with us here.
As long as Murphy doesn't come back.
Well, I slapped that hoe.
Yeah, man, that Murphy. That Murphy laying down the law too as well. Hey, injury report, man. What you got on that thing, DDP?
Well, one thing I was talking with you before our first stream, which kind of went a little off the rail.
Right.
I've noticed Leighton Vander Esch he's missed the last 2 preseason games with this groin strain. At the time it happened, they told us that taking him out was a little more precautionary. Like, they didn't think it was that big of a deal, but he's missed 2 weeks. And it doesn't sound like he's returning to the practice field anytime super soon. Enough so that there's already been something I saw in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram earlier suggesting he might be questionable even for week 1. So even looking another 2 weeks ahead might not be ready for action yet, which is crazy. I mean, if it weren't for all the stuff going on with the offensive line, Travis Frederick and Zach Martin, the stuff going on with the secondary with Xavier Woods, Kayvon Frazier, it would be a much bigger story that the number 1 draft pick for the Cowboys this year has missed a fair bit of the training camp and isn't going to be ready to go week 1. Part of that could also be the emergence of guys like Joe Thomas and the fact that LVE isn't going to step in and be a day 1 starter. So
right.
I don't know. What do you make of that? That's something that jumped out at me, and I was like, damn, I have not seen him at all.
This is the thing right here, and I'm just going to give them one good pass on this because there are tons of nicknames that's generating right now in my little brain about Leighton Vander Esch. But I'm going to give him because of the Taco Charlton experiment and Byron Jones and also the D-Law, all those guys looking like promising now. So I'm just going, and then Travis Frederick. So I'm just going to fall back on this. But if he don't show up next year, I'm going to give him 1 year. And I know a lot of people in the chat box saying, whoa, hold on, Law. You mean to tell me you're going to give this first-round draft pick 1 year? But I can hear the names formulated.
Taco.
Leighton.
Yeah, you got to get him.
You got to give him
got to give him a year.
Yeah.
I mean, really, rookies are at least 2 years, but 3 years is really when you find out what the player is.
But big game, James. You can't say game without saying big game into that too. You know what I'm talking about? Because you had a chance and the opportunity to get that guy, Derwin James. I call him Derwin Trinidad James. You had a chance to just trade up just a little bit, to get somebody like that can change and make an impact to your team. And you also had a chance to get that other kid that had that band too as well. I think he was picked up. What's that guy? Landry. What's that guy's name?
Landry.
Landry. You had that chance
from
to get
Boston
those
College.
boys. Yeah. So those boys, they better not show up and show out too as well. And I don't want to hear the nicknames formulated in my mind talking about Leighton Soft as Ash or Leighton Vander Trash. You know what I'm saying? Those names are coming around, and you got to get out there on the field. Too. What'd you say?
Pooper Rush.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cooper Rush.
It's called Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
But yeah.
Cooper Rush. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were calling, when we was on the show, they were calling him Pooper Rush.
Pooper Rush,
Pooper Rush.
Hey,
not wrong.
These nicknames coming real hard. So, hey, he better find a way to get out there to do something. That's all I'm saying. Just show us some type of hope. Or show us a possibility. I always say this, not to just preach to you guys, but turn to your neighbor and slap your neighbor and tell them, hey, there's hope. And when there's hope in the future, there's power in the presence. And I better have some type of power when you're talking about LVE out there, because we was all at the draft. You remembered Big Game James, how they were saying.
That's what I'm about to bring up.
Go ahead, man. Let me go ahead and sit down before I start preaching around here.
No, you go ahead and preach. I'll preach to the choir. I'll sit here and say, give you an amen.
Yes, indeed.
I've already saved our reaction from that draft.
Yeah, we should, because it's funny because I was talking about, I think it was Randy Gregory, and I had somebody bust me out. I wish it was, I knew his name. I was like, don't be jumping on the train when he's blowing up this, and this. And then somebody got on me and was like, oh, but you like an LVE now, because I remember watching the draft and you were saying that drafting LVE was blah blah blah. Now you liking him, so ain't it the same thing? And I said, you know what? You got me on that one. But it's not the same thing because I've been on Randy Gregory from day one. I was never on board like that with LVE. I stoutly did not want him. And one of the reasons why was because of injury.
There you go.
Two things are the reason why I didn't want LVE at 19. Didn't say I didn't want him as a player. Didn't want him at 19 because 1 year of only productive. And even then, you played in a conference that wasn't great and you were getting swallowed up by average players. That was concerning to me. You couldn't shed those blocks at that size. And then the injury with the neck, you only had really 1 year where you were healthy. Now, come into the NFL, you had an ankle injury. Now you got a groin injury.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
One healthy year in college.
Only one healthy year. So those are flags. And guess what? Not to hate, but Sean Lee, what did he have when he was in college? Flags. What were the flags? Injuries. He tore his knee up. He tore his other knee up. He was having hamstring issues. And guess what? Those issues came into the NFL, did they not? Leg injuries. He didn't have arms and injury, anything up top. He had lower body injuries. They carried to the NFL, and he's had nothing but lower body injuries in the NFL. So if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, that joker's a duck. So all I'm saying is my concern is this could be a problem because if you're getting hurt this much already, you make a big tackle, you're going to come up. I just see him making a big tackle and he'll running off the field limping.
And they not even hitting right now. That's the problem. They not hitting.
And I mean, think about how far back he is. They were putting him like he was going to try to be a starter in the middle as the mic. Now you got Joe Thomas balling. You're like, when is he going to see the field? And everybody was dogging Taco, and he's been getting a pass as far as LVE. I ain't miss seeing everybody on social media on my page or anybody else been killing him. And they ain't been killing LVE like they were killing Taco. They were killing him every single day. I ain't heard nobody killing LVE now one time. And DDP, you're perfect. And what you brought up is that everything else is going on and it's threw him to the side and let him be up underneath the rug. And ain't nobody saying nothing about him. But Taco was picked 28th. There's 32 teams. So he was borderline second round pick. This LVE is a 19th solid pick. And we could have had Derwin James. And if you had, you could have traded up. I hear people already talking, oh, but we couldn't have got Connor Williams or we couldn't have got Michael Gallup. You don't know that. Do you know that? You don't know that. So that's all speculation. But one thing we do know is we would have had a top-notch safety. And if we looking at that defense right now and you added a Derwin James in that motherfucker, holy hell.
Sorry, I just heard DDP, you were perfect. So I latched on to that.
Yeah. Hey, man, and they know it, man. And the truth right now hurt because right now we need some safety help. And I know there's 1,184 players that's going to be out there in the market. Fresh meat out there in the market in a couple of weeks. Well, what, next week?
Sir.
Next week?
Next week, yeah.
Right, so,
let's hit that roll call real quick. Yeah. Since we did that on the last stream, but let's do this one. Roll call. Let me hit the YouTube page for Prospect First. We got first man in, Joseph Candelaria. I hope I hit that one right.
Candelaria.
We got Gleh in the house.
There you go.
And Sugar Daddy. Kenneth Haynes, what's up? Eric Donahue, Stash829. What's up? Chris Killens, what's up? Stevie Mac 23, say prime time. DJ Chill Will Evans. Let's see. Anthony Simpkins, what's up?
Notification SWAT.
Yeah, man. If you guys haven't already rang that damn little bell, go ahead and do that. You're going to want to see this. You're going to want to catch this stuff live when it happens because that's the best way to watch these shows.
Make love to the bell.
Oh, wow.
I didn't take it to that level. But
oh, wow.
The door.
Oh, wow.
I was over here like, put a little ass on it.
If I can be, make love to that bell, man. You got to see that bell down there. Make love to it. And don't forget, too, as well, y'all see that $sign down there on DDP's page. Go ahead and make a donation to help grow the nation. Let's get this thing live so we can have better equipment, better sound stuff, man, so we can have this channel just like the ESPNs of the world and the NFL Network. Y'all like them. Y'all watch them, right? We can be on
and
that
y'all
level
damn
too.
sure be paying for them because if you're paying for cable and ESPN's on cable, so you are paying for it.
Right. So this is free 99. All you got to do is just make the donation here and there. We're not begging you guys. We just know what it is, you know.
It ain't no begging. If you put $1 in for that whole, let's say just $1. I say you don't have to do $1. You can go higher. But if you put $1 and you do that for what, 4 weeks in a month, that's a quarter.
Yes, all I'm asking.
Come on, damn it. You buy Black and Milds, y'all buy blunts, y'all buy drinks, y'all buy Tanqueray, Patron, y'all buy everything else, clothes, Jordans, sneakers, everything. Help the nation grow so we can do even better for y'all and get that hot stuff for y'all, man.
Yes,
absolutely.
indeed.
That's how we doing it, right?
To borrow a phrase from Vach, what's he always point to when he's talking about Patreon? A bag of peanut almond M's or no almond M&Ms. That's what he always points to.
Man,
exactly.
They need to send him a check because I'll be going out there looking for them almond M&Ms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
y'all get this thing
He's
going.
probably driven up sales for sure.
Y'all know how this thing go.
I think Producer G was in here. What's up, Producer G? And my dude, Alec. What's up, Alec? Just want to give a couple of shout-outs. I know there's not a lot of people I can see because my feed is acting weird.
I know one thing. What about Mama T? She's around there.
I don't know.
Mother Pochok, she gonna get them things for you, man.
She gonna get them things for me. But shout out to Sean, Watt, Linda Colazzo, Timothy Zachary, Cassie Pierce. Anybody who else jumps in, we love you. Keep on listening and let's keep rolling.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Jay Deuce over here on the YouTube Law Nations 2.0 page. Buck Bureau, the first person. Won one, lost one. Second place, man. You second place, man. Got to step it up just a little bit. Cowboys abroad, man. I really appreciate you, man. You one of my Patreon elites, man. I thank you for tuning in. Hey, so what's the next order of operation?
Well, we got Jerry Jones dusting off his argument again for an 18-game regular season, wherein you take away 2 preseason games and add a bye week. What are your thoughts, and is this a good idea?
Hell yes. Yeah, I'm just so sick of preseason. My thing is, this thing is so long and drawn out. I think that the teams can collaborate. Those teams that are close together, like when we go off to like training camp, like these summer camps or what have you, as competition, I think that they should band together like those teams that are kind of like close in the region. They should have scrimmage games, right? So that take away one preseason game there or joint practices or whatever. And then the philosophy that Jerry Jones, I can't just say Jerry Jones. I got to say Jerry Jones, the philosophy that he have. Yeah, I'm all down for it. I do know that the collective bargain agreement, the NFL players got to give up something. When the NBA guys got together on their collective bargain agreement, look, they came away with some money. Of course, they played more games throughout the season, and I do know that the NFL got this CTE issues and things like that. But if the players want more money, how about proposition it so that you can have a little bit more games, just like you said, 18 weeks, right? And everybody have is he putting out there two bye weeks?
An extra bye week,
two extra bye week, 2 preseason games, and an 18-game schedule.
Yep. I think that players always talk about, hey, I'm not a
part of that benefit as well as you also spread out the games a little more.
There you go. You spread out the games, and then on top of that, they can work those bye weeks in with the Thursday night games, and then on top of that, they can have more time with their family. You see, this thing can work out, and everybody can. I guess they can up the percentage. They can go percentage wise as far as the guaranteed contracts. I think that they can work on something like that because I do know that the NFL versus the NBA, the guaranteed contracts is just not out there like it's supposed to be because you just have so many players out there. So in the NBA, you only have 10, 15 at max, players on their roster. So it's
15,
15
and
max.
Then it shortens to 12 for the playoffs.
See, so 15, you got that almost on one side of the team, as far as football, like far as the starting offensive line and offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, it's one of those things where football is like the America's team, like the America's sport, I meant to say. So what they need to do is figure out a way where they get those 18 weeks in, and also they figure out a way to just up the guaranteed money just by a hair. And I think this thing can work out. What are your thoughts?
James,
I'm here.
What are your thoughts on the 18-game season? Jerry's proposed idea.
Man, I don't know. I'm kind of those 2 preseason games, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They got to play because, I mean, I understand how the preseason games need to go away, cut them down. I definitely need that. But we do need a couple preseason games because you need to see the players. I mean, you need to see them. You need to see them against other guys. You need to see them against other competition, not just your players. 18 games, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just really don't know. Um, I know the players, when I was listening to the players, they were complaining last year about extending the season because they were talking about the wear and tear on their bodies. But if there's an extra bye week, that's good. But I think the main thing is we need to eliminate them Thursday games.
So you all out for the Thursday game? Let me ask you this:
I don't want them Thursday games because the players complain about it, and they say their bodies are down, they're more injury prone, they feel like things happen more, and I don't really be watching them Thursday games like that. Just keep them on Sundays and let these players rest. They're playing football. For you to play a game on Sunday in the NFL and then go back playing Thursday is crazy.
Let me ask you this: as long as you and I have been alive, they've been playing Thursday game for the Cowboys, right, on Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving,
Yeah, Thanksgiving. So they had that tradition, and now they was talking about it, having other teams to jump in on that. But let's do this. Let's think about this. With the extra bye week, they can categorize this Thursday game, whereas you can only play the Thursday game after your bye. And I think that they can, work that schedule out so you won't feel like it's a major strain on your body. I think that they can work those things out as far as the numbers. Now, as far as understanding the players through because like you said, they need to play. Players need to play, the younger players, right? How many snaps do you really need to know whether or not Lance Lenore can play in the National Football League? How many snaps do you need to see out there? I mean, I think that if we do more one-on-one scrimmages against, I guess, another team out there, and they figure out a way to have those joint practices and just have the first preseason game as far as like nothing but rookies, the second preseason game, the dress rehearsal. Because how many preseason games do the colleges have out there?
None.
Right. They may open up against
they up against scrubs.
They open up against scrubs.
That's their practice games. They open against those top teams. They schedule those real cupcake teams because that's their practice. I mean, if you have, let's say, DDP likes Oklahoma or Texas. Texas plays freaking Fairmont University. Well, Fairmont University is just getting a big check because they're playing Texas. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they're just working their players, Texas, to get good practice. But are you getting a true evaluation of your players in that game?
Yeah.
Well, you're not getting a true evaluation because you're playing.
I agree.
I'm agreeing with you, DDP. So that's why I think you need at least a few games. 2 games seems cool. I think 2 is good enough because of the injuries. I'm really worried. I don't like the preseason game, all of them games, because of the injuries.
Right.
You're playing 4 or 5 preseason games. Injuries happen, and it's always like the last preseason game that didn't matter. Somebody got freaking hurt. I mean, look at our situation right now. How many people did we lose the last 2 games?
Right, Kevon and somebody else.
We lost Kevon. Woods went out. I mean, just Martin got hit in that game. So
Byron left for a little bit too.
So we had some injuries pile up. So that's just the concerning thing to me with the preseason is just the injury situation. But I definitely feel like you do need to play some other teams to get your feet wet and have some evaluations. I do think you need at least a couple for evaluation.
I feel you. So you with the belief whereas you minimize the preseason game and just keep it at 16 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel. I don't feel like you need to add games. That's the owners getting greedy because they want more money. Okay, yeah. That's just to me. Why can't you keep it at 16 games and just cut it down to 2 preseason games?
I feel you on that. I can agree with you on that aspect too. Just have more scrimmage games.
Yeah, you can do the inner squads because they were doing it. Remember our Cowboys, we were always scrimmaging the Raiders or the Rams. We were always having those inner squad scrimmages. We were playing them yearly, so you're going to get a good gauge. The only reason why they stopped doing that because we were fighting them every year. They were getting in fights all the time. But if you
Jets and Redskins this year.
Exactly. If you have an inter squad scrimmage and then you just play those couple of games and still stay with the 16-game season, you're saving the players a few years on the players by letting them not play 2 extra games, and then you're saving them because they don't have to play 2 more preseason games. So why don't you look out for the players because they're the product, not the damn owners?
Here's how me ask you this though. Go ahead, DDP. Not to cut you off.
Here's an alternate viewpoint on this. So obviously we know that the owners will charge the same amount of money for preseason games 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
And those are the same money as regular season games. It doesn't matter that the level of competition is literally garbage compared to what we see there. Like preseason, especially weeks 3 and 4, except I get it. Week 3 is usually the dress rehearsal where the starters are supposed to go into the third quarter. But for the most part, you're looking at 2.5 to 3 games every preseason that are just hot garbage. And yet they're still charging like for nice seats at Cowboys, at the Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, $325, something like that. Like they're still charging out the butt for those tickets.
Right.
And you can't expect, like, the product you're delivering is not worthy of that. So an alternate to an 18-game season, perhaps, if you don't want to look at the perception of, okay, how do we adjust contracts moving forward? Because players are going to say, hey, I'm getting paid this money based on a 16-game season, so there needs to be some kind of inflation raise, something like that to it. And you would have that moving forward as soon as guys started hitting free agency after that was implemented. But an alternate method could be potentially keep the 2 preseason games, but add in a wider playoff bracket. If you add in a couple more games, then you're getting really big dollar games for the league, makes more money, and you're still avoiding the hot garbage football without putting regular season strain on the guys, where you have those week 15, 16 games for some teams that just mean nothing. You still might have that, but you're not stretching that out even further, and you're getting the big dollar games as well.
Well, the problem is with that, I like competition. And when you widen the playoff opportunity to teams, then you have teams out there saying, well, week 12, I don't have to even play no more. I start resting my starters. I start resting. Can you imagine the New England Patriots, with a wider playoff brackets was there or existing, that they could probably start resting their players damn near week 10 because they really don't have no competition within their division. I like it tight. I like it where you have to win to get in, that type of vibe, that type of feeling. I don't want them to change that part of the game. I do know that 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. If they had a wider bracket of playoff, maybe those opportunities would have gave us chances to be in the playoff. But I don't like that. I like for us to fight to get in. I like that aspect of where it is right now. I just don't want the bigger, wider playoff situation, because the basketball is like that. Right now, I guarantee you guys, right now, you guys can predict the top 8 teams that are going to go in the NBA and hit on all those teams right now. There's no surprise to that element.
I mean, you won't go 8 for 8, but you'll probably go 6 for 8. I get what you're saying.
Come on, bet, man. Come on, bet it up.
I mean, you'll be close, but at the end of the day, I've always thought that we should have a couple more teams in the playoffs. I always thought
we only
that.
get 8.
Oh, man, I'm the outsider. I'm the outsider in this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
chat
you don't
box.
have to be the outsider on that because first of all, what year did we see the New Orleans Saints get to the playoffs, or what team? A couple teams,
Seattle
the Carolina
Seahawks.
Panthers,
7
Seattle Seahawks 7-9.
Yeah, we've had those years. Yep.
Really? Like those guys make the playoffs because you have a terrible division and those guys automatically get in? Man, no. I think because it just you get the 4 divisionals and then 2 wild cards?
Yeah.
No, that makes it damn. You don't win the division, so you only got 2 spots. That's pretty tough to get in there, and then you have quality teams that may not get in. I just feel like you should just add instead of 6 teams, go to 8 teams. I always felt like you should have 8 teams.
So,
and I feel like
with 8 teams, will we make it to the playoff last year, 9-7?
Yeah, I think we would have, because we were right there, weren't we? It was the last couple games when we got knocked out.
I think Atlanta and Seattle.
That Atlanta. When Atlanta won, Seattle, it knocked us out. But
we
had 8 teams last year anyway.
We were down to the very last game.
True that. But I think the Seattle game eliminated us completely.
Yeah, that was what took us out of the running. And for the record, even if we had won Seattle and then won Philadelphia the next week, we still wouldn't have gotten in because Atlanta won.
Because that Atlanta game, right? Because that Atlanta game would have killed us. Please.
Yeah, so I mean, going back, pulling back the scalp, man.
But let's see. Okay, so if we were at the right there at the cusp, what was another team that was right there with us that just barely missed it?
Raiders were in contention,
I'm
but they
talking
were
about
falling out hard at that point.
The
In the
Lions,
NFC.
the Lions, the Green Bay Packers, I believe.
So you're going to
Yeah.
tell me if you had two more teams added in, it would have been us and Green Bay added in. Let's say we both would have got in on that. Let's say, just say that you really wouldn't have watched the playoffs then?
Part of my thinking on if you expand the playoffs is you take away that bye week for the 1 and 2 seed. You go 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's entertaining at its best, you know.
Recent years have shown having a 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs. Now, I guess lately,
isn't guaranteed.
But if you think about it, last year was a Super Bowl matchup of 2 1s, and I guess lately it has transpired more favorably in that way again. But for a stretch there, you had all the wild card teams making the run. It was about getting momentum, getting hot. And if you had to sit out that week, I mean, ask the Cowboys. You sit out that week, you start slow, and starting down 21-3 to start the game in 2016.
Hey, let's play the game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's feed on my end. Let me check this out. Murphy Law try to enter in.
Because, I mean, it just seems like whenever we take that daggone week off, we struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, when we won in 2014, we didn't take the week off. We kept that momentum rolling. We played the Redskins. We played the Redskins, mashed them. They thought we was just going to rest. We came right through and went hard. You know what I mean? Thought we was going to rest our starters in that Week 16 game. Came right back and went hard, and we played good. Even though that was a lucky win, because if we didn't have the penalty, we probably could have lost that game. But I just feel like whenever we take a week off, it's not good. I want to. If I'm an NFL team, I understand the resting, but this is the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the playoffs. You're trying to get to the playoffs and win a Super Bowl. I want all the momentum I can. I want to keep on moving. I want to keep going, because it always seems like when you take that week off, unless you're a super dominant team and that team you play with next week, it just seems like you always come out flat.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And
yes,
I guess an exception to that, you could point to Philadelphia Eagles. They were the walking wounded, and despite having the bye week, still stayed hot last year. So rare exception, but for the most part, that is how it has transpired in recent years. I think AFC is a little bit different with the Patriots in there. They've been able to get in, but with them being the exception rather than the rule, I think if you look at years in which they haven't gone, it's been much more about the teams that don't have the bye pushing into that picture.
Yes. Let me do an audio check on my end. Hey, are you guys able to hear me pretty clear? Or
got you, Crystal.
I hear you great.
Yeah. All right. So I just got bad feed on my end. Let me. You guys go ahead and continue the conversation while I unplug my deal and plug it back in.
All right. So let's see here. James, any Woods to start at safety week? I mean, I kind of figured Woods was going to miss at least a game.
It always seems like in football, leg injuries keep you out longer than arm, hands. It seems like you can play with a separated shoulder or a bruised hand. You know, you get a groin or a hamstring, calf pull, you can't do nothing. So those injuries are a little more tender than when I saw Frazier, that groin area. I mean, back in the day, I used to always get mad at players. I was like, why in the hell is this dude not playing? He only got a damn hamstring injury. He should not be out no 4, 5, 6 weeks. There's no way that should be happening until I pulled my hamstring really bad.
Yep.
Then I found out, okay, I'm going to shut the hell up and I'm not going to talk about these players anymore, because you get a bad hamstring injury, that's like a 5, 6 week injury. And if you don't manage it and just don't...
Hold on. Y'all guys able to hear me at all? Because they got no audio. All right. So, no audio on my end.
When you try to do anything on a bad hammy, it's just going to prolong the injury, and you can't gauge those injuries.
Oh, I think the crowd is who can't hear right now.
Yeah, they can't hear. Y'all can hear. We can hear much. They drop.
We dropped to like 20.
All right, hold on. Hold on for a second. Let's see what we can do to get this thing back. Murphy Law, man, that's what it is. All right, so let me see what y'all stay the same, and we're gonna pick this thing right on the nipple. Right on the nipple, right on. So we're gonna do. We're gonna at the end and pick it back up. It's back up though now. You guys should be able to hear me now. They might have to jump back in and things like that, but OBS fell off on us. We should
people
still
in
be
the
live.
comments, let us know if you can hear.
Yeah, but they're gonna drop off and they're gonna come back in. So it's one of those things. whereas we should be back live on all platforms now. Let me know if you guys can hear us. You guys know that it's one of those things. So we live like 95. Money making mall said we back in this thing. What about on y'all?
Sounds like we're good. We're good.
Yeah, everybody give me thumbs up.
And we kept the same stream going, so I think we're all sweet. All sweet here.
Yeah.
All sweet? That's not a phrase.
Really appreciate it though. So where were we, man?
I don't know. I think James and I were just making the best single point in the history of sports talk, but they didn't hear it.
I mean, the best single point, and just really, I felt like me and DDP just made one of the hottest raps ever, and it was not recorded.
Yeah, the kind of stuff that changes lives if you heard it.
Exactly, like you would change your whole life. Like you actually might be rich off of what you just said, but guess what?
Yeah, it's one of those days, man. It's one of those days, man. Hey, we live like 95 though. We can remake those points back, man. I thank those who out there that's been following the channel. Everybody, y'all know who this is.
It might not bring the power it did when you first rapped it.
Yes, indeed. It's like an unwrapped burrito. You can say, "You want this burrito?" Nah, bro, it ain't wrapped. Hell nah.
Me and DDP was talking about the Woods and Frazier injury.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was because when you saw Frazier land on that shoulder, that looked kind of hurty, but it looked like you'll be okay from that. But when a guy gets up and he's pulling that leg and he's dragging, you're like, oh Lord, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Are we gonna do the Earl Thomas?
We got calls for more drops.
This might be the bad night.
And then we have other people saying they're never calling law for tech support.
Hey man. Hey, thank you for calling Law Nation. This is technical support. How can I help you?
Everything's on fire.
Just grab some water and throw it around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Just tuck and suck all of the moments out. But it is what it is. That's my cousin, man. My cousin Murphy Law. He's in this thing, man. You got to give it out to him. Shout out to him, man.
I'm about to have to add him to the freaking graphic to advertise this show.
Hey, are you guys able to see whether or not Big Game James and Silver and Blue Nation, Phantom and EBSN, are we still live on those platforms? Do you guys know?
Yeah, we're still rolling there.
We're still rolling, okay.
Yep. Still got comments rolling in. Let's see.
Anybody from the Phantom and EBSN online, Big Game James page, Silver and Blue Nation. If you cut us, we bleed that. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? I went and grazed. I went and got a shell.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know what it is. I don't care. I ain't got the NFL hitting me up.
or the four-ladder network.
You know what I'm saying? NFL bothering me, so guess what? We chiefing.
Yes, indeed, man. So I got over here Jordan K. We should have gotten TJ Ward months ago.
No. TJ Ward is done. We should have got TJ Ward last year when he was available. But this year, he's done. No team is messing with him, and he done fell off the planet Earth. I don't want that. He can't really cover anymore. He's older. No, that would just be a waste of time and energy. Don't do nothing like that. We just stay young.
Do you like that OBI Malafontu?
Nope.
Fanwu?
Nope. Because he was nothing but a workout wonder. And that's all he was. And people, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. They seen he was 6'4", and he had the size. You remember Taylor Mays from USC? We can talk about, he's a big safety, but he couldn't turn his hips. Just because you can run a straight line and jump a 40-inch vertical doesn't mean you can do those things in football. You got to have hips. And they were saying he was stiff and he was injury prone. No, why would we get him? There's no point. What's he gonna do with us?
I'm high on this other 6'3" guy. He wears number 23 for our team.
You know it, Robinson. He's gonna be good.
Yeah, and now he was on the starting lineup from. I checked out a tweet from John Machota. He had
kickoff team and punt return team.
And I saw him like these are the guys I look for like on tape. And when we doing like the kickoff and punt return, I'm looking for that first guy to get down there. And I saw number 23, and I saw this number 48. Do you know who wear number 48?
Joe Thomas.
That guy,
my
God.
Monster.
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 Go out
And
there.
you know
You
what's
know
so
who wears
weird?
number 49?
Yeah, I know.
Olawale. Jamez.
There we go.
Jamez Olawale.
That was my jersey number contribution.
But you know what's
Oh,
crazy to
who
me
went
about
number
Phil
53?
Thomas? March Lillard.
Did you see that hit that boy? Bam.
I almost just said Lillard. I was like, wait, there's something for it.
We're gonna play the numbers game and don't cheat.
Who's 41?
Cal Q.
There you go.
Yeah, but what
19.
you about to say about my guy McKay? And I hope you guys not cheating in the chat box. Don't cheat.
We ain't cheating.
You got to be watching the tape. Trust the tape.
I mean, they're on a 20-second delay from when we say something to they hear it, so I'm going to assume they're not cheating.
Mm-hmm. They not putting it down in the chat box, so I guess they don't know who those numbers are.
Unless they just start listing off every jersey number in the chat. In which case,
I mean,
I'll take
that
it.
Robinson.
The comments will blow up this video in the algorithm.
But I like that Robinson kid. I got to see him at camp. He's a legit 6'3". The biggest thing that stood out to me when I was at camp was how big he was. Like he was towering out there when he got on the field. He's a big kid. I wanted to see if he was physical. He wasn't really getting in the mix, but toward the end, he looked like he was getting in the mix. And now when I watch him in the games, he may not be making every tackle, but he seems like he's around the ball a lot. And you made a good video of him, breakdown tape of him, and that's when I saw all the guys that were the undrafted guys. He was one of the guys I was really liking because of the size, and he just like he had a little bit of a moxie. So I know one thing: he's on the team. He's made the squad because like I said, he's on first team kickoff. I believe he's on punt returns, and he's already one of the backup safeties. How do you not make the team?
You know what? when I did the film on him, when I started looking up his tape, and it was him against Boise, the blue team, the Cowboys scouting team. He played against that team, and there was a few passes that his player, his contemporary, wasn't in the right spot. When I saw him just get into the face of his same player and said, hey, you belongs here, you belong there. As a defense, I love it when the defensive guy does that. That means that he's showing some type of like that dog mentality, that leadership role, whereas he can get into the face and he's trying to be perfect out there. And I like that. There's no such thing as perfect, but you can always just try to shoot for being the best and practice make improvements. So out there, I know for sure what's going on internally in his mind. He got that leadership mindset to say, okay, I may be a rookie now. I may be undrafted now, you see, but damn it, I'm going to try to learn everything I can learn to beat out number 37. I'm going to try to beat out number 41. I'm going to try to beat out number 35 now, you see, because he tasting the leadership role. And as a rookie, whether or not he got there through injury, whether or not he got there just putting out there all of his mind, heart, and soul and sinew out there. But now, I'm not saying that he's going to be like the next Ed Reed or anybody out there. But I like the fact that he just out there playing fast and elusive out there and taking chances.
Yeah, well, like I said, he's Chris Richard definitely will coach him up more than anything else. So I see Frazier, Robinson, Heath, and Woods.
There you
There's
go.
our four right there. And those other guys they brought in, like you said, I didn't even show them videos because they ain't going to be there.
Hey, and did you see that big run that they got on that guy that we picked up from Seattle? Jaron,
Yes.
I said, man,
Jaron Johnson.
Jaron Johnson. He gave up that big run. He came in at the wrong angle, and I thought, like, is that J.J. Wilcox done snuck up on the team?
I actually somebody yesterday asked, should we get J.J. Wilcox back? Man, don't ever bring him back. I don't care how much better he played. He did play a lot better the last year when he wasn't starting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dallas should have never drafted him in the 4th round, a converted running back to safety in 1 year, and you pick him in the 4th round.
Right.
That was dumb.
It's crazy.
That was dumb.
Didn't have Big Game James running back for more.
You feel me? And I mean, you probably was wondering why
I'll
he's
show
taking
myself
them,
out.
taking them bad angles, probably because he's thinking he's a running back again.
Yeah, probably. He's like evading the contact. Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. All right, what else we got on the docket, DDP?
Let's see here. I wanted to mention this is looking a little bit ahead here. As concerned as we are with the Cowboys' offensive line, it looks like we're at least being fortunate in our draw for week 1 because the Panthers' offensive line apparently is a bit of a disaster.
Bad shape.
I forgot about
3
that.
tackles hurt, interior issues. They got a decent right guard, but I mean, you really can't ask for a better week 1 matchup considering our own state. It sounds like this is going to be kind of a battle of the defenses. And man, if our defense is healthy, I like our chances. This would be a very nice, impressive test for the team to come out immediately and show that their defense is going to lead the team now.
Look, I'm going to try to give you guys the ugliest face I can give. And this is how this defense is going to look. That bend. Just go ahead and tell them, man, what Randy Gregory going to do with D-Law and my boy.
That damn bend. You know what he's going to do with that damn bend. I mean, you saw first 3 plays of the game, sack.
Yeah, see my face, you guys. This is gonna be like I'm gonna be like this the whole game. Like that defense is gonna get out there and just make all types of just wreck that doggone Carolina Panthers offensive line because they got those backups or the backups of out there, and we do know the best thing that you can do to Cam is to keep him inside that pocket. And if you keep Cam, that big Cam inside that pocket, and we can get off those edges, it's going to be nasty. I just can't wait for week 1. I just can't wait. I know I know you guys sitting there saying to yourself, okay, this offense haven't showed us anything during this preseason. Maybe the defense, everybody been saying the defense gave up no points at all, and everybody remembering this Cardinals game. But this defense here, the way I just can't wait to Cheeto.
How can anybody really remember the Cardinals game when we had Cooper Rush starting? You feel me? Like, I don't even look at that. I mean, let's really look at it. We played 3 preseason games, right? We played the Niners where our first team offense went in there and scored just like that.
Right.
We played the Bengals. They didn't even do anything on us. We moved the ball at will against them when we really wanted to, and we didn't even have freaking Zeke in the game. So I think people just really need to calm down about our offense because we ain't showed anything. Zeke ain't played the whole damn time. We really ain't had the whole offensive line the whole time. Dak played just a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Like, people need to calm down, and especially don't even count that Arizona game. We had Cooper Rush starting. So when you had Cooper Rush starting, you should already threw that out the window.
Cooper Rush for 100.
Cooper Rush for 100. So people need to calm down about our offense. We ain't had Zeke. We ain't had our full complement of guys. I do feel better with Joe Looney out there, but Travis Frederick has been doing some light working out, some things of that nature. So who knows when he can come back? He may come back earlier. We don't know. But I did feel only main person I was looking at, one of the main people was Joe Looney, how he's going to look at getting that pocket up, pushed up the middle, doing on his pulls. He had a couple of times where he pulled out there. I think that screen pass where Rod Smith almost got that first down, Looney had a hell of a block pulling on that. So
Cooper flush. That's a next step. Cooper flush. Jay Pharma D just took it to the next level.
But one thing I know for sure, Cooper done learned this, and number 45 done learned this. Thou should not tempt thy Peterson. Number 21. You should not tempt that guy. I don't know what he was thinking about, throwing that late pass to number 10.
People need to read the scouting reports. When Cooper Rush came out of college, they said he was a smart kid. He had like a 4.0. Good at reading and anticipation, but he had to do anticipation throws because he didn't have any kind of arm strength. Even though he was a bigger kid, he didn't have arm strength. They said that's one of the reasons why he didn't get drafted at all, because of his arm strength. Now, when you seen them throw that pass, those aren't easy passes when you're throwing out in those flats. You have to really have some arm strength to whip that ball that way. Or if you don't, it's going to sail. When you saw when he threw that ball and he didn't have the arm strength, a great cornerback like a Patrick Peterson is going to see that, and that's an easy ball to catch. If you're any kind of cornerback, I play cornerback, and you know a guy that can't really whip that ball over there, that ball is so soft when it comes in your hands, you can just catch it in motion and do just like what he did because there's no power behind it. So when everybody's talking about Dak, I can't throw the deep ball, and everybody was sucking on Cooper Rush last year, loving him like he was the next Tony Romo. And I damn sure posted that on my page in that game, like, we're all them Cooper Rusher lovers now. Because y'all damn sure was calling for some Cooper Rush when Dak Prescott wasn't doing good. Cooper Rush is the next Tony Romo. Cooper Rush is the next Tony Romo. Now these same damn fans are saying, cut him. Let's play Mike White. You know what, Dallas fans, and I ain't hating on all y'all, but Vosh, just like you said, 80%. Because some of it don't make sense how 1 minute y'all love Cooper Rush and then the next minute you want to cut him. Make up your damn mind. I said from the beginning he was a backup quarterback for life. Never will be a starter. He will never start 16 games in the NFL ever.
Man, those words from the big game James.
I mean, we're talking an undrafted rookie out of where again?
Central Michigan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
You feel me?
Hey, man, I feel you on that. But Mike White, this is the thing. This is my assessment on Mike White. The guy, he throws with anticipation too, and he's I'm talking about it. He got a good arm. But the thing is, about him being so raw and having that offensive line, my God, that doggone Chaz Green. I know some folding chairs in Natchez, Mississippi. I'm telling you, those folding chairs can do
that, dude. Oh, man.
And number 75, I don't know if that number is cursed. I don't know what's going on with him, but he looked like the reincarnation of Byron Bell. I thought he
looked like Byron Bell. That's who I was like. Are you Byron Bell? Or I think when they pulled the face off, like in the Scooby Doo thing, they're like, Mr. Blah blah blah. And I would have got rid of it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. That's what they didn't do with Byron Bell, because he looks just straight, just go.
That boy, I said, man, both of them, they left Cooper. I'm about to say Cooper Rush, but they left Mike White out there to die.
That's what I'm saying. And people can't get we can't get a good evaluation of Mike White when he's getting killed. He has no time. And actually, I mean, his completion percentage, he was like 17 or 22, still getting murdered. I think the biggest problem with him, just like you said, Law, he's raw.
He's not that ball. He loves that ball.
He holds onto the ball, and I think just because you know how it is, so he's a rookie. That's what happens to him, and he played at Western Kentucky. So the game is a lot faster now. But if you're looking at talent-wise, way better than Cooper Rush.
Yes,
way
indeed.
better.
And at one point, he was 11 for 11. And it's just one of
things. We
need
a veteran, Teddy Bridgewater. Go get him.
Teddy B, if he's out there, you go snatch him up. Don't even think about saying, okay, we don't want the competition with Dak. You go snatch Teddy B.
Go snatch him.
I've heard that they have no plans on doing that, and they keep insisting that they're set with their guys. But man, I don't know. I don't know what the price would be for Teddy Bridgewater.
Is he guaranteed that $5 million? Because I believe he's $5 million on the books with the Jets.
So.
Is he guaranteed that?
I believe so. Yes.
Automatically got to pick up that salary.
I'm pretty sure. Yes.
But is $5 million going to kill us? We're okay with the cap. We can do
No. I get you. I get you. Right. I feel you. The question is, I wonder what the price would be for him. Yeah, he barely played last year, but teams get desperate around this time, so I'm convinced the Jets will move him. Obviously,
move him. Somebody's going to get him.
And if Dallas isn't willing to part with, what would you rather part with? If you had to spend, let's say, a second rounder. What would you rather spend that on, Earl Thomas or Teddy Bridgewater for a backup? You see what I mean? If you got one, if you got one swing, you take the starter. Take the starter and pray that Dak stays healthy. And if he doesn't, hey, Garrett just has one more excuse.
He already got him.
We so close with this damn defense, man, and I can only.
That's what pisses me off. I'm salivating at the mouth because we have the defense we've been wanting. We have a running game. We got a quarterback who can make plays. How many times have we seen teams win with defense? Have a good offensive line. Quarterback was good. Great running game. Seattle Seahawks. I keep coming to them. Seattle Seahawks, and we have Chris Richard on our team. I'm just saying. When you see a Trent Differ, a Brad Johnson, and Eli Manning, you see those guys winning Super Bowls or Super Bowl. I mean, come on now. This defense, that's all we got to do is just get this defense together. Come on, man. If we can get this, they got to get that coaching together. Garrett's got to make those calls. Just like when I watched the interview when Colin Cowherd had DeMarco Murray on there. Did y'all see that interview?
I haven't seen that one.
It was right when DeMarco Murray retired. He had him on. Colin had him on the show, and so he was just asking Murray, about his life, his NFL life, and he asked him about the Cowboys, how his experience was, and he was talking about Jason Garrett. And basically Murray kept it real. One thing I know about Murray is that he pretty upfront when he talks. He doesn't pretty much sugarcoat things. But the main thing he was saying was the players respect Garrett, and he is a motivator. And a lot of players that have said they've been around him say he does motivate them. But one of the things he said again was he does lack in the in-game situations. We were having those same feelings in the game when it'd be a critical call and he would take too long to process information. I think that's what it is. I think the game goes by so fast that he's such a thinker that he thinks too damn much and he doesn't think quick. I'm trying to think of that. Quickly think. There it is. Quickly think. Like, let's say we got a challenge. You know what I'm saying? He always takes forever. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a big play, he's sitting over there and we're like, come on, make this call. And it's just like, it's always delayed. Like he's always thinking too much on the situation. Just make the damn call and let's move on.
Yes, indeed, man. I got him up here now clapping.
I got the clap on, clap off on my page. Go check it out.
Yes, indeed. Let me see where I can put him at, man. Let me put him into this conversation. But, you know, this is the thing with Jason Garrett. It's so easy for us to have our reservations on this coaching staff, and I can hear Vach Lombardi right now saying, "Oh, you guys are part of the 80% now." You know, coaches can't go out there and make plays, but it's something about a coach that can, you know. I do know that a lot of people saying the antics of what Chris Richard did is not needed out there. You know, that's not for a head coach, but there's something about firing a coach, man. If we had Bill Parcells, let's just talk about this. If we had Bill Parcells, right, and Lenovo dropped those passes or fumbled the ball, what do you think would have happened to Lenovo or Jimmy Johnson?
Oh, he'd have been cut because he's already a borderline player. So he wouldn't
have had the opportunity for the second fumble.
Yeah, if I had that first one. But I feel what they were saying. I like the fire of Richard. In hindsight, watching it now, when you see it, you're like, you probably shouldn't have. Maybe you did a little bit of the sensationalism on there. Maybe the cameras were on you and you wanted to get a little bit of showtime. I think that's what it was a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just how I felt about it. Like you're doing a little showing off because you know you're the man right now. So you know what I'm saying. You don't think these guys play to egos and play to the fans? That's a lie. You know they do. So to say he didn't, I think he may have because, I mean, they weren't really doing anything on us, you know, offensively. We were killing ourselves, so it wasn't really like for you to scream at them like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I wouldn't really want my head coach doing that. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't want my head coach doing that. Because that's not necessary. As a head coach, you have to keep your cool. So I think that was a little off base as far as that. But at the end of the day, I do think that kind of fire is needed for us because how many times we would just come off the field and everybody's just sitting there and nobody's saying anything. And then we just kind of like go through the motions and we just look defeated again. And that's the one thing I like about him and that fire, because so many times when we get down, we put our heads down and then it's like we almost just take the loss. And I want our team to continue to finish the fight like we've been having that mantra for how long? Forever,
man. And I just say we should not just finish the fight, start the fight. And at this point, Randy Gregory got that sack. You can feel this. I was looking on TV, the whole building just like exploded, right? For those in the chat box and those who are in the Facebook panel, if you was at the game, just let me know how it felt when you was in that building, when you saw that brother get inside and sack the quarterback, and how everything was just like, oh, wow, this team is there. It's there. This is the feeling. This is what it feels like to have a dominant defense. And then they punt
That's
the ball.
What we all been waiting for,
then they punt the ball away. And then all of the air escaped the building. They said, there go that team we used to.
Yeah, I don't really, like I said.
I know it's preseason, but I just don't want to see this come week one.
It's not. I don't really believe it. Like I said, Ezekiel Elliott, we ain't had Zeke. Like, that changes everything. Like, to me, that changes everything. Rod Smith ain't no damn Zeke. And Rod Smith was running good. You know, and he wasn't, like, super impressive to me, but he was still churning out them yards and against them. And imagine if Zeke was in there. Man, that changes our whole game because you will focus on Zeke. Now them bootlegs. Now those guys are going to be open. And the biggest thing to me right now, we haven't talked about this, or I don't know if you have, is this damn tight end situation.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about this. I know we're getting long in this stream, but yeah, let's go ahead and touch this thing.
It's concerning. I'm concerned about the tight end situation. Blake Jarwin, he can catch. he's good, but he's okay. He's not great.
Put it like this, I ain't not to cut y'all, but in these 3 weeks, in these 3 preseason games, who showed out the most? It just forget who can run routes.
Jeff Swain and
Jeff
Rico.
Swain showed out the most, right?
Yes, and Rico was probably right behind him.
Okay, so are you comfortable?
As far as catching.
Because we just don't really know. I think I know this right here. Rico can block better than Chaz Green.
Yes, he can. I'll probably give you that. Well, hell, did you see Dalton Schultz in that last game?
Vaguely,
he didn't look good at all.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Vaguely.
He dropped the pass. He missed a couple assignments. He didn't look great at all. And watching Dalton Schultz these first 3 games, he's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
He's not ready to see the field at all. So if he's not really ready to see the field, and he really needs to be on the practice squad for real. And I heard a lady, and I wish I knew her name. She brought out something really good, that she was saying that Dallas got desperate on that 4th round and picked Schultz because when Jason Witten retired, they got desperate and went for a tight end to try to reach, because that's when Philly went after Dallas Goedert. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So Dallas kind of reached on that pick because when Witten said he was done, we got to get a tight end. Not saying Schultz can't be good, but he's just not ready. So if you're going in there with Swain is good. Blake is okay. What are you going to do with Rico?
Who can you sneak on the practice squad?
You can put Dalton Schultz on the practice squad. Ain't nobody taking him.
Well,
I don't think somebody will take him.
But you know how it goes. They're going to he was a 4th round pick. Let's take a swing.
That's why they're not going to do it, because he was a 4th round pick, and that's that BS.
Yeah, because I was sitting there streaming like, my guy, I know you're not high on him, but I like that Deshaun Elliott. I was like, yeah, Deshaun Elliott, not saying that you pick him with the 4th, but they could have did something, to get a different defensive guy out there on the field. And
you could have got another offensive lineman
at the 4th,
because now we're lacking. It seems when we had the injuries, because we love our line, but when Travis Frederick went down or Zach Martin went down, we were spooked.
DDP, man, where you at, man? You still here?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm just listening, just vibing on this.
Oh, what about bad? Go ahead, Big Gay.
I was just saying that, I'm just worried about the tight end spot, because I think we need to bring a veteran or somebody else in here, because we're lacking right now at that tight end position. And really, you say, well, Rico could be the cut, because, he didn't even it frustrates me. This is what frustrates me. 3rd preseason game. Why aren't you playing him in the beginning of the damn game? Why are you keep on waiting till the 3rd and 4th quarter? Is he that messed up?
He don't look that bad. I just
he don't look that bad. I'm trying to figure this, the going back and forth, because 1 minute I'm saying getting cut, then he makes all these catches. I'm like, he ain't getting cut. And then I see next week he getting cut, and then I see another week, no, he's not getting cut. So I'm tired of the back and forth. Make a decision with him, Cowboys. Stop saying, oh, he can do this and this. He can do a lot of things as far as inside that damn 20. That's a threat we need. We need a offensive threat like that for Dak. Dak hasn't even played with him on the field. So how can we get a real, true evaluation of Rico Gathers, and he ain't even been on the field with Dak in a real game?
Right. Think they're trying to sneak him through one more time?
No. Don't do that.
I don't want them to. I'm just speculating.
Take him this time. Somebody will take him this time, because you don't think all these other teams are seeing that 6'8" like, yeah, go ahead, Dallas, and mess up. We're gonna scoop him right up, and we're gonna put him in situations where he gonna ball out.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't make sense to me that they haven't really given him more of a chance with it, whether it's with Dak. Now, obviously, in practice, he's had his reps and all of that with the first team at times, but unless he's just got some really crappy attitude and they just aren't having any of it, I don't understand why you're not at least taking out the flyer, because it was one thing when you had Witten there and you kind of understood, like, yeah, he's going to take like next to every snap for the tight end position for us this year. And unless we go 2 tight end set, in which case we're probably looking more to block anyway, which isn't a Rico strong suit necessarily, then, there's really no opportunity. It's not like that's the case anymore. With no tight end stepping forward and really claiming the job, it's bizarre that they have not really gone to him. I thought this would be a year that, like we said going in, it's a put up or shut up year. I was leaning toward him putting up.
Yeah. I mean, if
Right.
you take a shot in the dark with Gavin Escobar, and I'm reading John Sparks. Shout out to you, man, for joining in to the nation down there in the chat box. He said, "Hey, they watch him every day in practice. He just made it in bold letters. Rico can't run routes." Man, when you 6'8", 6'7", you that big, and you're in the green zone, money zone, red zone, just lob that thing. A seam route is not that hard to run.
I mean, I get it with the routes and even the blocking. I get that, but when they're saying he can't run routes, and that's probably might be true, but that's if you're playing the whole damn game. Like,
Yeah.
Rico ain't gonna play the whole damn game. We all know this. Rico ain't playing the whole damn game. He's not. So use him like these other teams. When we get near that damn 30 or 20-yard line, here comes Rico Gathers.
Yeah.
And even if you don't throw to him, he can be a hell of a decoy, because when you know Rico Gathers coming in that 20-yard line, now you got a 6'8", 290-pound man. You're going to have to switch and look for him, because people, when they throw the ball to him, do you see people pulling the ball away from him? They barely can tackle him. Even
Right.
when he took that one pass out of the dude's hand from the Cincinnati Bengals and he started running, dude hit him below and he still did not go down.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. Like with Rico, they say, like Law pointed out, that he's not a good route runner. Okay, but who was another guy that was pretty effective for us that wasn't a good route runner that we just had on the team until April? 88. Dez wasn't a polished route runner by any means. But if you're talking like he's supposed to run a route 12 yards, but he cuts it off at 10, or he's a little bit out of position and he's just in the general area, like he's not good at the precision route running. All right, fine. But if you got a guy with Dez, you had a guy who could go up and win jump balls, and as long as you put it where he could get it because of his athletic ability, he could get it and no defender really could. That's all you needed. Rico has that same ability.
Right.
He's literally a rebounder, like a basketball player.
Yes.
To him, that's just straight getting rebounds, and he's 6'8", playing with a bunch of dudes guarding him that are like 5'10", 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 6'2" at best. Like it's one of those things where he is like a man among children in those situations. So even if the dude's not a great blocker, you gotta think maybe that can improve a little bit with continued work. But if he's not a great blocker, fine. If he's not a great route runner, fine. Just run him. If you're running him in the red zone, that dude is a jump ball threat that even if he doesn't draw, like he'll draw extra attention at the very least. Right?
Yes, he can be a hell of a decoy, because when you see him in the game, you're going to have to keep your eye on him because he's too big. Remember when DDP, when we played the Seattle Seahawks and they threw that pass to Jimmy Graham, and who was guarding him? Jordan Lewis, and he just pushed him down like a little flea.
And what's the knock on Jimmy Graham? I just want to know.
He doesn't have Drew Brees making him Jimmy Graham anymore.
What I'm saying is he a great blocker? Is he?
No,
No,
he was
never,
the same mold.
He was a terror. He was only thing was a receiving threat. He never blocked. Never blocked.
Never blocked.
Never.
Yep.
But guess what? Was he nasty? Because they put him in the right spots, and you had Drew Brees too. That makes a big difference. But at the end of the day, we all have to agree on this. Rico is a red zone threat. We all have to know that. And if that's the case, then he's not playing all game, Dallas Cowboys. I get it with the blocking and the routes, but we can't just cut him and because he's a threat. And you don't think we got Zeke? We're inside the 20, right? We got Zeke. Let's flare Zeke out, and then you got Rico on the same side, and then maybe like Gallup. Ugh.
Yes.
Correction here in the comments, people pointing out Rico, it's not that he's a bad blocker. He just doesn't get the assignments. He keeps messing up the assignments, and Jerry has said that as well. That's true. That is a technicality, but it's still not much better.
I got so mad.
That's bad, because if you're missing your blocking assignment, chaos will happen, and that's how your quarterback gets killed or something like that.
I got so mad earlier today on 105.3. The fan Brian Broder said, "Hey," he said the exact same thing that you just echoed and just lamented, the fact that he don't learn assignments and stuff like that. And he said, Brian Broder said, well, they scared to put Rico out there because he can get somebody killed, right? He can get a quarterback killed.
You got Chad Green out there.
Yeah, I'm sitting like, boy, did they see number 79 out there?
You really just said that, Brian?
Brian Broder, go back, and I think it's on 105. I hope it's on demand. You guys can go back and listen to what he said. And I said, like, well, hold on. So 79 don't put the quarterback in an uncomfortable position. Hey, this is the thing. I think that for sure, although Rico may not understand and know the playbook, the guy didn't play football since the 8th grade. But one thing I can say is if it's he can't run routes or he can't learn assignment problem, then that's, to me personally, a coaching problem. You coach that man and say, hey, on this play, all I want you to do is just shoot upfield. I don't want you to touch nobody. I don't want you to get in the way of anything. Just run straight up the field, and that's your classic seam route. It's exactly how it sounds, up the seam. And now the next play, I want you to run a post pattern, a skinny post, meaning you're going to run upfield 10 yards or yards and cut to the right. That's all I want you to do. When you get 10 yards, lower your hips, shift your body, and cut to the right. That's all I want you to do. And then when you get into the money zone, we can start opening up plays like 22 personnel. We can even pull out a 13 package, the 13 personnel. We can still run up the jumbo 23 personnel. And all we want you to do is pivot your body, post up, just run to the goal post, post up like you're trying to crash to the rebound, and look for the ball. If he can't do that, I think it's going to have to fall on coaching. I hate to say that, and I do know that coaches don't run plays, but it got to be. It's not that hard. Football is not that hard. Trust me, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard, and I know they're not giving him the whole damn playbook like you're going to know every damn play because you're not playing the whole damn game.
You're doing those three plays, those three routes right there.
Yeah, you're not playing the whole damn game, so I'm like, you have to memorize everything in there. You're not even playing the whole damn game, like for real. We know what you're in there for. And when every time he gets in, he makes plays. That's the thing. That's the only thing I stare at, why you would not cut him. I said that, he may love his music better. He may not love football like that. That might be true. But all I know is this. When he gets in the game, he's always making a play. That's why I don't want to cut him.
Hey, when he gets in the game, the opposition got to make they got to make a choice. Do I sub in a safety, or do I sub in an extra DB to cover him, or do I trust my linebacker to take Rico out of the field? And the moment I see the linebacker, he gonna eat the linebacker up if he just tell him to run up. Rico, although people say he's a little slow in the foot, you just don't. This is the thing, coaching staff. Don't think that when you put Rico out there, you give him the Y option. Don't do that. That's too many things going at his mind. Don't think that he can run that Y option play. Just go back to what I said earlier. I just wish I could just tell him, hey, when it's red zone, money zone, just tell the guy to run up the seam. That's all we need. I'm done.
Yeah, agreed.
He's better than Chaz at this point. Is he better than
If Chaz Green's still on this squad after that 53-man cut,
how is he still there now is what I want to know. Is it just a camp body at this point?
I would think he has to be a camp body. He has a
pulse, so he's there.
He has to be. Yeah. But you know how Dallas is, DDP. They stubborn. When they draft somebody, they don't want to cut them to the last minute because they don't want to admit mistakes.
Oh, it's more than that with him. He's going to be, like, of the Jason Garrett era, the first, like, considered premium pick, a top 4-round pick that gets cut. He's going to be the first significant one, and it should have already happened. The fact that we're hanging, like, I don't know how he made it out of Atlanta, honestly. Like,
I'm telling you, because they don't ever want to admit they are wrong on them picks.
You're right.
They do not want to do it. They will hold on to that damn pick to the very end. They're going to do it with Dalton Schultz. We all know he should be on that damn practice squad because he's not ready.
Yeah.
But they ain't going to put him there because they're going to be like, oh, but that was a 4th-round pick.
So in 2016, Chaz Green looked serviceable in the spot duty that he had, and then 2017 he got wrecked by Atlanta, it looks like he has not recovered at all from that. I don't know if it's mental or health or both or whatever. All I know is I don't want it. I'm done with the experiment.
I just don't think he cares anymore. I mean, that's just straight lazy. And when a dude gets past you, trying to trip him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you got a rookie in that first game when he went against San Francisco, and that rookie just came up underneath him and mauled him and threw him out the way, and he's trying to tackle him before he gets to the quarterback. You damn near 3-4 years in the league, and you're letting somebody beat you like that, and you're trying to tackle them. Man, that's an embarrassment because when you see stuff like that, that shows me a player does not care. The player does not care. I don't care what anybody tells me. That player does not care. You've been in the league long enough to know technique. You've been in the league long enough to know what to do by now. how the game goes. And you're doing that type of shit and getting your quarterback and running backs hurt. That's some bull.
Yeah.
And then y'all gonna keep holding on to him. And then Brian Broder says Rico can get somebody killed. I seen the picture when Chaz is getting done up, and then all I see is Mike White's helmet. I don't even see him. I see 2 Arizona Cardinals swallowed him. You know what I'm saying?
Wide receivers wide open, like
wide receivers are wide open, and then and then the dude, he every day out cramping, or he got some kind of injury, fluids, cramping every day. Like, what are y'all saying to this dude? Does he know? Is he messing around with somebody with Jerry's family? Is he?
Man.
Does he have a cousin or something? Because that don't make no damn sense. Why you still on the roster doing that kind of stuff? And you're playing against like weak. You're not even playing against top dogs. You're playing against super average players to below average, and they're killing you. Now, if our guy gets hurt again, and you got to come in, and you're playing against premium players, hell no.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So as we close, in closing, because I know we've been running for a long time. In closing, what are your final thoughts? What are we looking forward to this Thursday? Just real quick, what are we looking for Thursday?
Man,
nothing.
Yeah, Thursday, I got you nothing for Thursday other than the end of preseason. As for a more general thing, something I saw this tweet earlier today, and I kind of wanted to echo it a little bit because it seems relevant. So obviously, both these guys should hopefully still have a long career ahead of them at this point. But there were more than a few people, Cowboy fans and everything, who didn't think that Jalen Smith or Randy Gregory would ever really play for the Cowboys for obviously different reasons. But a lot of people believe neither of them would ever see the field for the Cowboys and that they were wasted second-round picks. Now, here we are a week before the season, and they look like 2 of the best players on this team. Like, assuming that Randy Gregory, that all that stuff is nonsense, nothing, and he's going to stay on the field, he looks like he could be he looks like he could be that war daddy, or at least war daddy light to go along with D-Law. So if you got that 1-2 punch, and then you got Jalen back there looking anything like Notre Dame Jalen, then this defense can be good. It can be very good. And that's something to be excited about. And it's not often that I get to be excited about our defense. We haven't been excited about our defense in a long time. At best, we've been like, hey, bend, don't break. It's not awful. That doesn't get you anywhere. So I'm excited about that. And then obviously Zach Martin coming back at least a little bit in practice. The fact that he's already back, at least for part of practice at full speed, good sign that he'll be ready week 1. That's huge.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Shoot, that's some good stuff out there, man.
I feel you. I think the only thing I'm looking at is just come out of there injury-free. No major injuries coming out of that game. I'm not really because I think they've already decided who they really want. That 4th preseason game is just kind of get through it. Like DDP said, I mean, not to be sounding old, but damn, I've been following them boys since them 70s. And I know how much better Dallas is always good when we have defense. When we won them Super Bowls in the 70s, I watched that doomsday defense. I watched them guys. And we had Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach and all of them. But what made us click was that damn doomsday defense. When I saw us in them 90s, we had Emmett, Troy, Michael, all-star cast on that offense. But we got better when we got that defense. When did we start winning? When we got Charles Haley.
Wow.
Because Jimmy Johnson was like, we need that missing element. And when we got that defense solidified where we were everywhere, it made our team so much better. So I'm so happy because I am a defensive guy. I've been fiending for it forever. And now to see it finally materialize, and then to listen to DDP talking about Jalen Smith, and then the tweet with Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory was the truth. He only fell because of the weed. That's it. Because he was a top 10 pick. He had that type of ability. Jalen Smith was a top 10 pick. So we have top 10 picks that are those type of guys. Then you, like you said, DDP, DeMarcus Lawrence, if David Irvin gets any kind of his mind right, and he comes in after week 4, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? When then you can slide a Tyrone Crawford in. You can slide a David Irvin in. Then you got Randy Gregory. Then you got DeMarcus Lawrence. And then you can still slide Taco in there. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Woods is balling out. Oh, my gosh. And then, like you said, Sean Lee right there. We ain't even seen Sean Lee. You see what I'm saying? That defense was looking Rex Shop and Sean Lee didn't even play.
Because number 40
Xavier Woods didn't play.
You guys want me to hit those numbers again that I mentioned? I think I mentioned them in the stream before James was on here with us. So it's limited action here. We're talking about 39 snaps so far this preseason, and they're not going to play the starting defense for the fourth game, obviously. So 0 points allowed, 63 defensive passer rating, which is 10 of 19 passing for 78 yards. 2.2 yards allowed on the ground, 17 attempts for 38 yards, and 38% third down conversion rate, which is 5 of 13. So that's again, it's a small sample and it's preseason, but considering that they didn't even have like the complete defense out there at any given moment, really, that's really saying something. And I think that the front end of our defense is good. If we start having, knock on wood, injuries at all, and we have to start going to some of these reserves, then I get more nervous. But if we're healthy, relatively healthy, I feel pretty damn good about this defense this year, and I did not feel that last year.
Yeah, that speaks volumes, man. If we can get this defense better on third down defense, hey, we're 8th overall. That money down. If we can get off the field, and then you get the ball more to this guy to do this all day. Eat Zeke. And Ezekiel Elliott plays a major role to this defense too as well. Time of possession. The more we have the ball, the less time they have the ball. And they're going to start pressing. They're going to start passing more. And,
that's when we get those situations, those sacks, the strip fumbles. That's what we've been missing. Remember, third down, we get a big sack, strip fumble, turnovers. We've been always preaching on, Marinelli preaches those turnovers. Even that year, 2014 when he came on board, we didn't have a great defense, but we had a lot of turnovers that year. Our defense wasn't good, but we had a lot of turnovers. So it was serviceable and got us to the playoffs because we turned the ball over a lot on the defensive side. So if we can create turnovers as well as sacks, man, we just pin our ears back. When you can just pin your ears back and you don't have to worry about anything else because they have to throw the ball, it just makes you that more effective.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to be greedy. We're going to keep that ball, man. Hey, James, tell them where you from, man. Tell them where they can find you at and all this stuff, man.
Hey, well, once again, appreciate you guys for letting me come on and grace my time. You guys are lovely. I love y'all to death. But check us out on Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James. You check us out on Facebook. Just type it in, Silver and Blue, not the A-N-D, but the N symbol. Check us out every Sunday. We got our show Sunday afternoon, 3:30 p.m. to 5 Eastern time. We kick it, super interactive, fans. Whatever you got to say, jump in there. And if you got that knowledge too, we respect it. We'll give you the shout out. We'll give you your name. It ain't about us on the air. It's about the fans. It's about the people. So whoever's got Cowboys knowledge in there, jump in there because we're going to let you be able to have that platform because this is what the platform is for. The voice of the fans. Silver and Blue Nation. Check us out.
Ooh, in one stream, James has called me perfect and lovely. I'm just
yes, Randy Watson. Yes, DDP off the top ropes.
I just like lie in the weeds, waiting for the moment to strike. That's all. It doesn't matter if it was something you said
Cobra
5 minutes ago. I'm still there waiting.
He was just sitting there like, I got you.
Yeah, diamond cutter out of nowhere. But definitely tune in to Silver and Blue when they do their shows on Sunday. Subscribe to them. If you want to check out the DallasProspect.com, we got you, your home for Dallas sports and all things pop culture. Follow us on Twitter at Dallas Prospect. We're also Twitch, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. I mean, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We're putting out Cowboys and Mavericks content like clockwork. And we're going to be doing a lot more stuff in the near future, too. I got a bunch of stuff coming up for you guys that'll be really, really cool to check out. So if you want to support us on Patreon, absolutely do. I've been overhauling the setups of that. I'm going to add in a whole new set of features for whether it's Patreon exclusives or early access, that kind of stuff. I'm going to set all that up. If you want to join us at the $1 level, get all the early access stuff, all that. So even if you just come in at $1, you're still getting early access and you'll get some exclusive stuff as well as discounts towards Dallas Prospect t-shirts and things like that. So check it out. And if you like what we do, your support is greatly appreciated. But
yes, indeed.
That's all I got, man.
Yes, indeed. Hey, follow their pages. Hey, there's a like button. Hit that button. Smash the like button. Do that for me. And also, make love to the notification bell.
Ooh,
I was
guys
hoping
know.
that something followed that.
Yeah,
he said make
to
it
that.
love.
And it just
He really he let that one linger.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Just make
I
everyone
think-
a little uncomfortable.
I think he was forgetting the word after that, so he held that love until the notification came in the
You
head.
just got to do it nice and slow. That's all he was trying to imply.
You are listening in
Like
to
when
the
you-
Love
when you
Hour.
click
Nice
that
and
bell.
slow.
When
Nice
you-
and
yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
You click that bell, click slow, and hold for a while.
Watch
Oh,
it
wow.
vibrate.
Really draw it
You're
out.
getting very porno on here.
Watch it vibrate.
I am an angel, sir.
Hey, when you press that notification bell, the bell just shake and rattle all night long.
Okay, he's the one going.
He got porno on his mind.
That's why you gotta love the silver and blue. You gotta just bathe in it, dive in it, jump in it, make love to the silver and blue nation bell, baby. Hey,
Go ahead and
guys,
make
know
love
where
to
to.
that bad boy.
You better make love to them bells. That's how we gonna get 6. That's how you gonna have a baby. You gonna have the 6th bell to come out of there. And I'm talking about that Super
How much
Bowl
yak has he
ring.
had?
You guys haven't
He
seen
had
me
some
drink
yak.
one at all.
He had some of that from overseas imported.
Yeah.
Their white hen, huh?
That white hand. Yeah, that white hand.
Shout out if anybody overseas and they get some of that white hand, let me know right now.
Shout out and give it to
shout out
Law because
hit
that's
me
his
out.
present to him.
Yes, indeed.
sir.
It is what it is. You guys already know. You guys know where to follow me at. Find my page and all this good stuff will be at LAW Nation. That's the podcast. I'm going live like 95 every day or every other day. I'm doing film session, film breakdowns. You guys can follow me at Laws Nation. That's LAWS Nation on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, MySpace, Black Planet, all those places you can find Law Nation. I'm there even twice on Sundays. You guys know how this thing go. And remember, you're listening in to nothing but the best. Salute. We're out.
Wait. I got mine.
Go do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Can't cut out the Dallas Prospect tagline in Dallas Prospect Live, man. What's up?
Dallas and
Remember,
Dallas Prospect
every
Live.
legend was once a prospect.
Every legend. Except Deion Sanders, he born running 4.2s and 4.3s, running out of the womb. That's
Still
what
a
he told
prospect
me.
at some point, man.
Yeah, baby, we on out of here, man. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Salute. How about them